Oh, you want to talk about my shoes, did you say?
Well, yeah, I mean, how many do you get through in the average tour?
Sorry, I thought that you were trying to say show and you said shoe and it was just a slip of the tongue. You actually want to talk about my shoes. Well, I can tell you about my shoes. I walk funny. You might have noticed this. I walk on my toes.
Correct.
So I've had to have corrective shoes. I wear shoes from, I don't want to give them an unnecessary plug, but I think they're called Echo. They make shoes for people who walk funny. Orthotic shoes. So I've had to have orthotics. I basically, it was the most embarrassing thing. I had to go and see this man who showed me video footage of my bottom walking. It was like rotating from side to side like some kind of farm animal. And I don't walk properly. So I basically only have one pair of shoes which contain these bright blue orthotics.
I have two words for you.
I have two pairs of shoes.
2 words for you. Mr. Humphreys. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mr. Humphreys.
Well, you kind of got that thing, you know, like you can't get a bus ticket between your cheeks, you know, the way you walk. It's strange.
I do walk. So I don't know who Mr. Humphreys is. Is he one of your new listeners?
You don't know who Mr. Humphreys is?
No, I don't. No.
Are you being served? Have you never seen this programme?
No, I'm sorry. Who's that? Are you being served?
Yes.
I'm before my time.
What the hell? Michael, you're meant to be in comedy and you've never heard... Oh, it doesn't matter.
What am I supposed to do? Watch all the comedy from history?
I don't know.
Like the 70s or something?
Here, I've got lots of questions for you and you've got to go in a bit, so let me get to them. The one thing that we have in common in reading your book, by the way, is a love for our grandma, and I was really, really upset at a point. In fact, I nearly shed a tear because the greatest woman in my life ever was my grandma, and I loved her dearly, as did you, but it didn't work out so well with you, and that makes me incredibly sad.
Yeah, it was sad. My grandma was an incredible character in my life and certainly in the book of my life. She was a Hungarian woman, very eccentric, extremely funny, said whatever she feels, extremely extrovert character, and also very wealthy. She married a very rich man who left all his money to her, and she had it all hidden around her house as well. She didn't trust banks, so her house was basically contained piles of cash, which was kind of weird, which she sort of just hide in very odd places, jam jars, and I actually found a £50 once in the remote control battery compartment. Strangely, we did fall out. She was quite a possessive woman, and she didn't take to my girlfriend, who's my now wife and mother of my children, and we fell out and weren't talking when she died, which is a shame. But I suppose in a strange way, I could write very honestly about her, with love and honesty, because she's no longer with us, which is not always the case when you're writing a book. In other cases, I had to be a little bit more careful and change some of the names. For example, my mum in the book is called Dave. So she can't see through that.
Listen, I'm told your people are telling me to clear off now, but we haven't even started. Can we do this again properly? Because I'm really fascinated by you. I've not asked you one proper question.
What are you kidding? You can ask me anything in the world.
We're okay to carry on because I'm told that you got to go.
I've got to go to Liverpool. I'm like running for president. I'm on a book signing tour. It's absolutely bedlam. I write my name more times than is necessary per day, and then we go to the hotel, and they're like, "Would you like to sign for this?" I'm like, I nearly strangled the man. I'll never sign my name ever again. But.
Hey, listen, I saw you last year in Nottingham in that arena, and I thought you're mesmerising. I think it's very hard to keep people's attention these days, and you were just brilliant. You're our greatest new comedian, and I'd like to thank you for coming on the programme. Can we do this again?
Nice to me. I think we should do this again.
All right, lovely.
You certainly know how to get me back. It would be my pleasure to chat to you.
Well, tell Alison all that and all your people.
In more depth when I'm not at the motorway service. Thank you so much.
It's easier to get Prime Ministers on than you, Michael Mcintyre. Let me tell you about that.
Thank you so much for your time. It's no wonder your listenership is going through the...
Rising, yes. Yeah. By the way, before we go, I noticed Jane McDonald was in your audience last week. Was it nice to meet Jane in the bar afterwards?
Oh, she was absolutely lovely. We had a lot of Emmerdale in. They were great fun. And Jane McDonald, yes, and Pauline Quirk. It was great. I mean, I don't watch Emmerdale, but I watched it that day, so I get into it. But there was loads of them there. But
I love
we had
Emmerdale.
fun. And Jane McDonald is lovely. My favourite loose woman.
Have you heard about her new album, Jane McDonald Live at the London Palladium?
I'm not familiar with that.
It's a brand new CD and DVD, and I'm going to play you a track now in honour of your visit. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yay!